how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Thank you for joining for coffee today.
Yes. I have mine.
I have
Reminding me
my
of
favorite
me.
mug.
Oh, I love it.
My friend gave it to me. Well, I'm so excited for this short time that we are going to spend together today. I'm looking forward to learn a little bit more about you. We have been working together for a while, but we didn't know each other previous to this. Then I am inviting you to this conversation because I'm so happy and excited with what is happening in your business. Since you joined, you have been consistent in your sales, and that is blowing my mind. And I just want to invite you to see how we can encourage others to maybe reach the goals that you are reaching and develop their business the best way they can, but with the tools that you are using. But I want that you share first a little bit of your background, how you
Okay.
knew Scentsy or how Scentsy came to your life and why you joined.
Okay. So a little bit about me. I've been married for 24 years this year, 24 in December. We have two children who are college age, and my husband works in the automobile industry, and I work in, I have a professional career in banking. So fast forward to COVID, and we're all at home a lot more. I was sent home to work, and I'm still at home working. On February 28th last year, which was supposed to be working from home for 2 weeks. And I'm a social butterfly. I like my alone time, but I like to connect with people and talk and build relationships. So that was quite different. And around that time, I want to say first that she had mentioned this word Scentsy to me over the years that we've been friends, and it never clicked what Scentsy was. I had no idea what it was. And I have a friend who has a lake house, and we went down to their lake house over a weekend. And I walked into her kitchen and I was like, what is that smell? Like, what is that? I have to know what that is. And I will tell you, it was Johnny Appleseed, because I know you're all going to be curious.
Yeah.
But my friend is a fruit lover, and she likes foodie smells too. And so she had Johnny Appleseed, and her daughter walked in and she was like, I can't believe you're burning that only bar. Obviously, apparently, unbeknownst to me at the time, Johnny Appleseed had left our catalog, and they weren't signed up for Scentsy Club. So the mother and daughter were fighting over the last few pieces of the Johnny Appleseed. And so she took me to her kitchen, showed me her warmer. And I said, okay, you've mentioned this word before, and I never asked what it was. I just thought it was a brand of a candle. And I want to order some. So fast forward to that, and she puts me in contact with Carmen through Facebook to place an order. And I placed several orders, and Carmen approached me and she said, look, if you get to $300, you get some incentive for that, and you're very close. You're like at 200 already with what you want to order. So why don't we set a VIP link up and just share with your family, even, and friends that are close, maybe Debbie, who introduced me to it, or someone might want to order something too. So that went very well. We ended up extending it for another week because we superseded the 350 or the 300, and we're at like 350, and we hit the 500 mark. And she was not pushy at all. I must say that we are not in this business to push people to join, to feel resentment because we push them to join and not be successful in it. It has to be a passion that somebody wants to do, and it has to be an interest for them. But we also can't make that decision for them that they don't want to join. So by not asking, we're taking that decision out of their pocket, and we're making that decision for them.
That when you reach almost the 200 or almost the 300 before we extended, I asked you and you told me, no, I'm not in, I'm doing other things, but I want to try. I have few friends that might like to order. Let's extend it one more week and see. And I was like, okay. But in my mind, I was like, let's see what happened. When you reach the 500, I approach you again. Hey,
Yes.
your kid will be free. Do you want to join? And your answer was?
Yes. So
So grateful that I asked.
yes. So an important piece there is don't stop at the first no. Sometimes that just means no, not right now.
Uh-huh.
And number two, something that I actually have been working on getting better at, and I've discussed this with Carmen, is ask in the first place. Don't be afraid to ask, and don't be afraid of the no, because that simply means not right now for some people. And you usually can tell when it's not right now or it's a hard no.
Yeah.
But so I joined, and from there, that was at the end of October. I want to say the end of October is when we flipped the party, and I ordered my kit.
During
pandemic.
During the pandemic.
Yes, during the pandemic. And if you know me, one thing about my personality is if I'm in something, I'm all in it. I can tell you, what my interests are, where I'm going to spend my time. I don't want to do things halfway. That's part of just my personality.
And I didn't know that when I met.
Yeah. Yes. And so I immediately, I took notes. Carmen and I met for like 30-minute sessions a couple times, and I took notes of everything she told me to do. So I signed up for the month of the Warmer and Scent of the Month Club, and I did some of those things to jumpstart everything else and to help me get off the ground. It was also a very good time in the year for where I am from. There are a lot of Christians that celebrate Christmas here, or Hanukkah, Jewish who celebrate Hanukkah. So we were in the buying season. And so I jumped on that, and we're a small community who does a lot of like vendor shows. Okay. So I did several vendor shows, not with the intention of jumping on to sell a lot at the vendor shows, but to get the contacts so that we can put them in the system and use them later and follow up and build a relationship with them.
That's one question that I was going to ask you, how you are building, because you start not knowing Scentsy and you start from zero, how you are building your community. Let me turn my radio off because I think
you're fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, you can hear it, but we can't hear. I can't hear it on my end.
Okay, I was worried that was okay. Then that was one of my questions. How you, knowing that you didn't know anything about Scentsy, just that experience in the lake with Debbie and her daughter, that, by the way, I don't know her personally, is another friend that introduced me to her. That's amazing how this works. Then
one day Carmen and I will have to explain all that interconnectedness, but just know God's hands in everything. And I'm in Georgia, and she is in California. And I've never been to California, and I don't know if she's been to Georgia or not, but it's very interesting that we met each other from a friend through a friend through a friend. So we're like 4 times removed of even ever coming across each other
but
in the normal course of life.
Together. That's the common between everybody. That's amazing.
Yes.
Oh, then my question was like, I know you didn't have any experience with Scentsy, and now you mentioned you took advantage of few events. How are you building that data that you are getting from those small
events? So I did the first one. I tried to make my own cards and did my own giveaway because it was a little impromptu, and I had not gone to the consultant store to look at some of the other things they have. Now I do purchase the cards for giveaways, the drawing cards, to collect their name, address, phone number, and email.
The ones that we use for the drawings?
Okay. And then I bought the drawing boxes.
Okay.
So I take that data. I have a box sitting back here from my last vendor show that I need to input this week. I key all of that information into my consultant site to receive my newsletter.
Okay.
And so that's one thing I do. So they're all receiving my newsletter. Maybe they came by my booth. They wanted a free giveaway. That's all they were there for. They were going to booth, signing up for free getaways. Maybe they didn't have the money to spend that day. Who knows? But they put their name in my box. So, and they can opt out later. You know, there's ways for them to do that. And they've offered their information with that on the card. So I feel that we have the permission to contact them. And so I sign them up for my newsletter, one. And two, I use their mobile number if I can tell it's a mobile number, or I use their email if I can tell that it's, if I don't have a mobile number. And I follow up and thank them individually by name for dropping by my booth.
Okay, no matter that they bought anything. Oh, that's something amazing. I haven't done that.
Yes, I thank them for dropping by, for coming to the vendor event and supporting small business in general, because if we don't have people to come, we don't have sales. And I can cross-check those names by people that bought using my Square, my receipts, whatever. So if I know that they bought something and I know specifically what they bought, I can talk about maybe a little more personal. You know, I had a lady, one of the first things I sold, and I never thought I would. And I took my own, the limited time warmers that were quite pricey. I had mine at a vendor event last Christmas and I sold one there.
Okay.
And so I specifically emailed her and said, I can't wait for you to get it. Please respond and let me know what you think when you get yours set up. Her kids were so excited about it. And she had bought her children some things there at other booths, and that was for her. Okay. So I was excited for her to do that. So I do follow up whether they buy or not. And I put them on my newsletter because I know they're going to at least get my newsletter 3 months, right?
Yes. I think it's that. 6. I think it's 6 months.
It might be 6. It might be
After
6.
the 6 months, they take it out of the list if they don't open it. If they don't open it.
So they're getting it for about 6 months. So I'm able to, and I'll talk about that newsletter in a minute, but those are 2 things that I do.
Okay.
And when I email them or message them, I invite them to, I include my Facebook VIP link. I do have a VIP group I run on Facebook.
Did you short that link? Like, for example, if you look at me in Facebook, you can add CTPAGAN, and that's the shorter version of my Facebook page business. Do you short yours?
I don't know if I have shortened mine. I need to I'm going to make that note because I didn't realize I could do that within Facebook.
Yes.
I usually just copy the link, and when I send it in a text message, it populates the picture so they can see a picture of me and because I always
doing that.
And something else I would recommend for you all, if you're comfortable doing it, is people are buying from you, and studying some of my branding things that I've studied. And I must say, I'm a relationship manager for a wealth division. So at the bank that I work for. So I'm working with business owners largely and people with wealth. They're in it for the relationship. And as we are, it's no different how much money we have. We are doing business with a person, not the name of a company.
Okay.
So on your Facebook page, put you don't even have to have our merchandise really on that cover that they see when they're searching for your group, as much as you need to have you branded on it. Have your picture on it as part of it. I do put some of our products on it from time to time with me, but take some pictures that you like of yourself, and outside lighting is the best in the early morning or the afternoon when the sun's not, or a cloudy day when the sun's not bright, but get your face out there so they can relate to you and not just a product.
Okay.
But I am going to look at shortening the link because I have shortened the link through Bitly and some other apps for like, I actually pay $12 a year for a Google domain so that and I just forward when I create my shopping link each month, when I do my own party link for my VIPs, I set my VIP link up and I go to Google domain and I forward, for instance, mine is polishpoint.net. That's all I have to tell somebody to find my Scentsy page, which is nice. They don't have to remember everything else. So, but when they click on it, all Google does for $12 a year is they send them directly to my page within Scentsy, the longer page, but it's shorter for them to remember. And again, it's about branding me and my business.
Okay.
So that name is kind of what I've picked. I do Scents Above, Fragrance for Life is the name of my VIP. And then I do by Polish Point, because if I ever expand my business and go into things even in addition to Scentsy, I have branded yourself. So to me, that's an important piece of it. And just keep it personal. You got to be different. And that's the thing. I can give some with that information. And Carmen, I know you asked me to share a little bit about that. I can give you all kind of ideas, but if it's not genuinely you, it's not going to work.
Okay.
But make it you. Like, I know I like cats. I love to read. I love birds, and I love the beach. I mean, one day my feet are going to stay in the sand, and that's a commitment I have made to myself and my family.
We need to go to Puerto Rico together, then
yes,
have that experience together.
Yes, because that is where my spirit is fed, other than my Bible, is at the beach. I feel closest to God when I can hear the ocean and have my feet in sand. Amen. So those are the things that, I'll share about trips coming up, or I also love to cook. So every once in a while, I don't make it all about Scentsy when I post in those VIP groups. I might post a recipe I tried that week that I liked. Okay. Or maybe even a recipe that I tried and it failed. And like, can some of my other friends who like to cook in this group tell me what I might have done wrong?
Okay.
Again, it's the dialogue and building the dialogue and what we continue to hear from our uplines, right? From our leadership and our training group.
That I didn't know this. That you are diabetic. And then now you are using your platform, you're improving your health and you're working with your health. And you are letting your customers know about this struggle, or not struggle, this health.
Oh, it's a struggle.
Okay. I was trying to be positive. I use that word.
Yeah.
It's
a hurdle.
And then how is the feedback with your customers when you talk about that?
Well, I actually have a friend who is diabetic type 1, which is different from type 2.
Okay.
But we're able to kind of compare notes and therapies and things that we do to kind of combat that. And then also, I've actually asked them, would anybody here be interested? I showed them something I found that was pre-made at the store and said, this is fabulous. I'm about the way things taste. I just said I like to cook. I'm a foodie. For a foodie to be restricted in what they can do that's why I say it's a struggle. It's tough.
Okay.
I'm from the South and we cook with a lot of things we probably shouldn't. So I'm having to learn to re-season food and things like that. And they replied and said, I said, would anybody be interested in more information or recipes as I discover things? I'm not selling a product. I'm not signed up through another line. It's just to help each other out. And we're all facing that struggle. And I think a lot of us have put our COVID-15 on anyway.
And sometimes you need an accountability partner. Maybe you can find that community, somebody that can help you and cheer you up.
Yes. So, and I think too, even, Carmen, I know that you and your friend Roxy attended some of the other stuff. I invite them into my life. I did a women's Bible study a while back, and I actually created a little encouraging group. There's nothing that goes on in there in sales, but it's just a group of women. And I've invited everybody to post in it. I made it to where regardless, on that one, I didn't feel the need to be an administrator and have to approve every post. I want that to just be a way for us to connect from all over.
It's amazing.
So,
I love it.
I'll mention, hey, if you all are interested in that, you can jump over and find encouragement here. But it's just being you. And then saying, oh, by the way, subtle things like my new bracelet. Yes. I highly recommend these. I did these for my daughter and I, and you may have seen my post because I know you're friends with me on Facebook, but I just did a little thing. I didn't even mention Scentsy. We did our wrists together crossways, and she had the yellow one on, and I took it outside and I just said, she's a little coconut, I'm a little melon, but together we'll always be happy. And it was a way that people can just say, tell me about this bracelet you had on. It can be subtle. It doesn't have to be, ask me if you want to buy every time you post something.
Yeah, okay.
And so
you don't sound like you're selling it. You are sharing something that you are using.
That I enjoy. And my daughter and I made it special for us. Those are the only two I ordered. So she knows she has one and I have one. And I'm going to sidebar for just a second because I'm going to show you. These are very long when you receive them. So they'll fit very large arms and small. I cut about that much off of each side. They have little slides here that you can move. And then I just took a lighter and barely cinched the ends. So you can cut the excess off when you get yours and it will not damage the bracelet.
Okay. Okay.
So just so you all know that little help too, because they are fun and these are very popular in our area with young kids. These roped bracelets are, so I think we're going to do good with those. I hope they come out with more of them.
Yeah, that's awesome. I tried to buy them when they came out and I couldn't find it that day that I was placing the order. How you find them? Like,
I thought it was in the collection.
I was in my workstation, but I will Google again.
Yeah, I think it's in the collection. It may have been the way that they named them.
That's the
because
thing.
I don't remember the name of them, but if you go onto your PWS, you might can get the name from them because I did the order that day through PWS because of the system I was on.
Then another thing is you talk about your VIP, you talk about the newsletter. Did you do something different in your newsletter every month?
I do. I customize my newsletter. Sometimes I delete the entire amount that they have in there and do my own thing. Okay. And I think back, probably I did that in January. Again, sharing a little about what's going on with my life. I invited them to email me or text me or call me and let me know what their families did over the holidays and what their New Year's resolutions were. I talked about the fact that I'm also, because I don't ever have enough to do, I'm back in school. I'm studying for my CFP to sit for the exam toward the end of the year. Amen. And that's a 9 to 12 month commitment. So I just shared how crazy things were. But I also talked about how for the first time in January, my husband and I are empty nesters, and how different that was for us. So I kind of just share, and it does sound like, you can't be all about yourself, but they do want to know about you. And then I weave in, when we did my daughter's apartment, I found she has a really tiny bathroom, no plug-ins. So we put her a fragrance flower in there. Okay. I weave some of those things. And then I always end it with, because sometimes I leave what corporate has in there, but I just add 2 or 3 sentences at the bottom or the top. And this is what I always keep in or always add if I'm only changing 1 or 2 sentences. Something I found that was a Scentsy product that I tried for the first time this month, that's my new love. Okay. And I'm enjoying, whether it's a fragrance or whether it's a bracelet or a diffuser, whatever it might be. I try to leave them with a piece of, hey, this is what I found that I loved and enjoyed. So 2 months ago, I tried our laundry line. So I talked about our laundry line. Okay. But I always at least put something personal there.
Okay. I
think that's important.
Did you share in that newsletter your Facebook VIP page?
I have not, and that's something I need to add to share that I have that for the people that aren't on it. Because but that's another touch.
I'm not doing anything, but I think that will be amazing too.
Yeah, I think that's great.
When do you do the changes in your newsletter? Because we have a time before.
I do it early. I do it the first day or two, as soon as I log in. If I log in and it's because it's a launch day, because I do have a day job, let's say I log in on a Monday and a launch day product and I'm in there to order, I might not do it right then, but I notice it because it's at the top of our bar on our dashboard. But then I make it a point that night or the next night to go in and go ahead and update it just so you can forget it.
Because I want to use this as a learning thing. The first Wednesday of each month is when that newsletter go out. I think it's the first week, the first Wednesday. Then if we don't do it in the first 2 days, we can run the chance that not being able to
forget.
Yes.
So here's what I would suggest then. I didn't realize it was the first Wednesday. I just always watch for it. But you asked me previously in one of our conversations how I handle my VIP group. And we talked about the content that I post, but let me tell you all, this does not have to be overwhelming. It will be overwhelming if you try to remember to go in every day or every night and post something. But a little secret I'll share with you, if you don't know already, or maybe you know and aren't using it, is you can pre-schedule your posts in your group.
Okay.
When you go into post, if you look at the top, it says schedule. If you click on that, it will let you schedule out. I don't know how far. I know it will at least go like 2 months because I've gone out that far. or into the second month because of vacation and whatnot, but you can pre-schedule your post. So I sit down and take an hour to 2 hours, depending on how sidetracked I get and creative I want to be. And I try to do my posts for the whole month in that one sitting, because it's done then. I don't have to worry about it. If I haven't picked up my phone, if I'm not feeling well, if I'm really busy and haven't been on Facebook, they're going to get some post. That doesn't mean you can't go in there in between the posts if we have an exciting announcement and announce something, but it also allows you to see, as all my content salesy, or am I mixing it up well for the month? Do I have personal stuff in there? Do I have sales stuff in there? Am I sharing Scentsy enough? Am I sharing too much? You're able to kind of plan that out. And you're also able to plan around holidays. You can research today's chocolate cupcake day. I mean, let's face it, there's days for everything out there. Yeah. So if you're looking for things to post, if it's National Pizza Day, post something about your favorite pizza. If you can't think of anything else to post.
Where I can find that calendar, and I'm saying this is a true question. Where I can find that calendar of what United States celebrate every day?
You can Google US holidays, or you can Google national holidays. And you can even look at worldwide holidays, Carmen, on that. But I mean, you'll find all kind of information online. Popcorn Day. I can't remember what I think there was one that I did that was funny because I actually love it. It's one of my favorite foods. But like back in March, it was like National Spinach Day, Eat Spinach Day. And I put it because there's so many people that don't like it. I knew I would get a lot of ooh comments, but I'm getting interaction and comments, which drive your Facebook algorithms too. I don't know if you all are familiar with those, but the more people comment and respond on your post, it drives your algorithms up with Facebook, and you're more prominent on social media when it does that. So you can find everything out there. So if you're looking at just how to get started and you don't want to throw everything personal out there at once, just find fun stuff like that, interactive things to do. I posted one where I had made a lot of samples and put them in a wooden bowl before I bagged them up. They were all different colors. And I kind of did a thing like, guess how many samples there are in this bowl. I mean, it can be silly, just simple, how many scent circles are there?
You're talking about testers or real samples?
The samples that we make out of the molds. Like I had the little circles and the little bars, but I just kind of threw them all in a bowl because it was pretty and cute and scentsy, but it also kind of created the conversation
for the new
behind it.
Show what you are, then they can have an idea. This is a sample thing that we make with some molds that we have that say Scentsy. And she was talking about the warmer of the month. Every month we have a new warmer that have a 10% discount. We as a consultants can subscribe for this, and we receive it a month previews that is released. Like for example, I just got
my don't you show us the one for this month? Mine's coming in tonight.
I have it. It's closed. I'm going to do a live maybe later. But these are the things that we can do with those samples. We got 9 bars, the warmer, the room spray, and everything. And then this is what we can do.
Yes. And I recommend the scent of and warmer of the month, because what I do with mine, you can actually see, this is one I've used. I've just not I turned it on for this live so it would be pretty, but and I have used it, but just don't put wax. If you're not sure you want to keep the warmer of the month, just don't put wax in it. But you can turn it on. Take your picture with it off with a few cubes in it, right, that are solid, then take them out and turn it on and do your pictures so that you can show it in your own space. And then you can unplug it and put it back in the box and wrap it, and you may sell it, right? Yeah. Because I do that with some of mine if they're not ones I want to keep, but you're getting 10% more off on it. You're getting the other stuff that your bars and things that come before they really are out there to be had, so you can build samples or talk about the scent and see what you think. But I do like that as well. I'm looking at a note that I made too when I was thinking about us talking about some of this today. And the
I think
only other thing I want to mention on your VIPs and your emails, if you use Amy to email, don't email every one of your clients about limited time offers every time one comes out. I have a lot of friends that are in direct sale businesses. We're inundated with all of that right now, and it's overwhelming. And then you start deleting them and not reading them. I know you all probably feel the same way if you've got friends that sell for jewelry companies or nail companies or all of the other direct sales that are out there. So really get to know not Snoop. I hate to say Snoop, but it is kind of snooping, right? It's modern day snooping. Look at your friends' Facebook page that are also your customers. What are their interests? If you see they like Star Wars, when Star Wars comes out, message them about the LTO, but don't message your other clients that don't really care for Star Wars about the LTO. You might put something in your VIP page, just, generic about it, but be intentional with clients that like certain things. Like when our new succulent came
what I
out.
do sometimes in those cases, because I have few customers that I don't know what they like, or they bought from me so long that I don't know. Disney wasn't in the picture when they bought.
Oh, right.
What I do when I create my text is like, I want to share something that you might like or know somebody that will like it.
Yes. Yes.
And using that, I don't know if you feel it, but using that term is helping me. Like, I don't know if you will like it, but I don't want you to miss it. Or maybe you know somebody. Then
right.
I'm looking in underline a referral. If you
right.
like it, can you refer somebody? And I get few people like say, hey, I have a cousin that she loved this. I'm going to share with her and let's see what happened.
Right. Just again, I think my underlying theme is just make it personal.
Yeah.
With everything we've talked about is don't just take what corporate gives us, stock pictures and stock commentary, and not make it your own.
Another thing that I don't know if you use it, but I use Amy. And what I do in our cell phones, we have a note. Okay. Then I create something like, for example, I have the one with promoting the $20 join thing.
Okay.
Because it's something that I don't share with everybody in a text. Like,
right.
I'm using that as my promotion of this month. Honestly, I'm not talking about any other thing, only this. Then I create this text and I copy and paste it, and I'm sending to all my follow-up that Scentsy is.
And you can do that with Amy, because I do not use Amy. I have done some research this week, and I've got to go in there and play with it. I've made a note to check on that to try and streamline.
We have a tutorial together, and I can let you know. Also, Amy have a Facebook page for Scentsy.
Okay.
Then you can join that, and that will give you a lot of information. But I can give you a few tricks that we can use together that I don't use always their template. If I don't have anything in my mind or any creativity, then I send what they gave me. But I try to personalize it my way of talking.
Perfect. And yes, I would love that, because I haven't played with that yet.
Then
in fact, I need to get better. I do a lot of my digital media that I do, photos and things like that. I do a lot of that in Canva because I was familiar with it. But I also am signing up this month or I guess it'll be in June now, next month for Photify's training session. So that, because we have a lot of other assets in Photify, and I'm having to upload everything into Canva to use it, but I'm also going to look at that this month.
Okay. Well, do you have something else? I don't want to take too much time. I know you're working. This is your, but I'm so grateful and thankful for giving me the opportunity to have this chat with you and to allow me to share with the team now. That's why I'm recording it, and I'm going to post it in our page, but I would love to see if you feel that you want to talk about something else or have any other point.
Just two things. Be a sample boss. I know I have heard Sarah say this on her training, and I know she'll say it again.
I'm sorry for my.
No. Take samples with you everywhere you go.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to share. I don't mean you have to make the samples. You can buy, this month, I've been really busy. I bought 18 scent circles in different scents, and I will hand those out. Those, I can easily put a label on it and hand it out, and it doesn't take much effort. But if you don't leave something behind, I call it a leave behind, or being a sample boss. If you don't leave something behind when you mention Scentsy to a prospect, it's in and out of their mind, right? So if you leave something behind when they may be busy right now, but they're going to look at it and see it later and think about it again. And it also gives them the experience of fragrance. Do your research on what fragrance means to our lives. Scentsy talks a lot about that, but if you go outside Scentsy, if you want to see something that's objective, it amazed me when I first started this business. Again, this is my OCD kind of personality kicking in. I wanted to know why fragrance was so important. It's amazing at the way we connect memories with fragrance, and the way physically that our bodies react to that. And I think that's a good testament as to why this is an important part of enriching people's lives too. So be a sample boss, hand out the samples. I go eat barbecue every night at the same, or not every night, every Wednesday night with some friends of mine. I made deliveries in my Scentsy bags there at the table instead of waiting to carry it to their car when things were smaller. The waitress and the people that own the restaurant noticed. I've gotten 5 or 6 orders from that, and I left them samples. I think initially we're afraid about the investment in our new business, and we're hesitant to hand things out. Sometimes I even do full-size products or a full bar. Don't be afraid to share. It will come back to you tenfold. If they don't like it, they'll pass it on to somebody that does. But share your samples. I think that, I heard Sarah say that several times, and I didn't buy into that initially, but just share your samples.
Do you have any form that you when you
I'm going to step away. I'm listening, but I'll step away for just a second. I want to grab something.
When you share your sample, are you getting any information from them, or you just giving to them the sample?
So I
look, you cat.
Give me just a second. I should have grabbed this before we started, but I wanted to show it to you real quick. So I do a couple things. I ordered and labeled everything that goes out of my house with. I ordered these from Vista.
Okay. What
and
do you
designed
do
them.
there?
They have my name, phone number, email, and my www.polishpoint.net, which takes them directly to my Scentsy page, all on this label. So everything has that on it that I sell, even on the top of my warmer boxes. But this is typically what I put on, and this is so simple. I got Avery stamps off of Amazon, and I printed these at home with my regular printer.
I know, but
this
Facebook Scents and above.
Scents Above. I named my Facebook VIP Scents Above. So if they go on Facebook and type that in, they'll see that, and they'll see my picture. Remember, I mentioned earlier. So even if there's another VIP that's similar to that, they'll recognize I was the one that gave it to them and see my picture and know they're in the right group.
For those that are new, I want to, just this came to my mind.
That's okay.
What you once told me about how important is to put your picture in your Scentsy website, because you was scammed by a consultant that wasn't a consultant.
Oh, yes.
And because, like, can you explain a little bit short why that is so important? Yes.
So if you want to prevent all the scamming that's going out there, you can't prevent it, but if you don't want to be a #1 target for them, you need to customize your Scentsy page that you send your clients to, your order page, your personal page, your PWS, because scammers are looking first at the PWSs that do not have a person's photo on it. Because if there's not a photo on it, guess what? Jamie Upton can look anything they want to. In fact, because Jamie is a unisex name, I could be a guy or a girl.
Okay.
So always customize your PWS page with your picture, because if somebody's trying to order from you on Facebook and they see your picture is different from the one on your website, a scammer knows that that's a red flag. They may pass on you and go pick on somebody else that just has the generic PWS page.
Thank you for sharing that.
That's a safety thing, and that's probably the banker coming out in me.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome. But I know I've taken a lot of your time as well. We took had 30 minutes of lunch and then 30 minutes here to have a conversation. But thank you for asking me. I feel privileged just to be in the position I'm in and to be able to share in such a short time that of being here doing this. I love it. It's fun. I started with my conversation of COVID. It gave me a way to reach out to people during a strange time when I didn't have human interaction a great deal on a personal level. So thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for asking.
And I'm looking forward to meet you in person in Las Vegas in our road trip to Salt Lake City.
Yes,
in July.
I can't wait. I'm super excited.
They are going to see a lot of adventure of us in our pages about that.
Yes. Well, yes, we're going to have fun, and then we can no longer say we don't know each other except for through Skype or Facebook.
Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your heart. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share Scentsy with you, and for opening and for sharing other things like the book study. That was my opportunity to know another side of you, and I think you saw another side of myself too. And I think those are the things that are connecting us a lot. And I'm looking forward for this new adventure that we are going to have together and where it's going to take us.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a wonderful day and see you soon.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.